Let Us Be Greater is quite honestly the book that I always hoped to read when I was growing up as an international adoptee. I remember reading books when I was younger, and they always made adoption feel sort of cold, almost like a diagnosis. And I never left those books feeling like I was seen, heard, or understood. It certainly didn't help me understand myself. And so I wrote Let Us Be Greater as my offering to adoptees to finally hold a book in their hands where they, number one, feel held in a safe space and certainly feel finally that their journey is being witnessed truthfully, seen, heard, and the sense of feeling known. This journey of adoption is a complex one, and it's very important, I think, for there to be someone out there that says, I understand, I get it. And this book is that friend for the adoptee and anyone who loves them to really lean into this experience and really, I think, be witness to what it feels like to be adopted. That's been a missing piece in this adoptee conversation, in the adoption conversation, is what is it really like to live this experience of being adopted? What's it like to be an adoptee? Let Us Be Greater is here to shed light on that question. I think the biggest misconception is that there's nothing to grieve. We hear a lot as adoptees, and I gotta say, I'm speaking for myself and so many out there. It is a painful thing when you're told, oh, just be grateful. It doesn't matter what came first, just move on. And there's a sense that the loss that you feel has no place in the world to be explored because it's not even looked at as a valid loss or something that needs to be grieved. I call it, and you'll hear it referred to as disenfranchised grief, when a grief is just not seen as something that is worthy of grieving out loud or being tended to, if you will. And I think that's the biggest misconception, is that there's no loss in adoption. There's only gain. A child gained a family and a home. Those things are true, but a child also lost a family and a home. And so I think that we really begin to see adoptees, and adoptees will begin to feel truly seen, heard, known, understood, when we can come at them and say, I know that your loss is real. How can I help you? How can I support you? And I think that makes all the difference in the world, to know that there are people out there willing to understand that there is loss at the root of adoption. So that's the biggest misconception, and that's one I certainly hope we can change within this book. When I was adopted, my name was Julia Dawn, and upon adoption, my name was changed to Michelle Ann. And I never was able to openly verbalize what that felt like for me, but I felt like I had lost this little girl, Julia Dawn. I didn't know where she went. Suddenly I was someone else. And I think it's really important to allow adoptees to talk about these things, this feeling of somehow, losing a part of themselves, and the importance of grieving that. Getting to the grief is key so that we can heal those wounds, those pain points that live inside of us that often are buried very, very deep, layer by layer, peeling back getting to those pain points, grieving out loud, saying out loud how we feel, the questions, the emotions, the confusion. I think it's so very important to create space, loving, sacred space for adoptees to grieve what they feel has been lost. Truly, that although this adoptee experience is complex, and it is, there are many, many layers, and it is a lifelong journey, and it is an evolving. that there is light on the other side of the dark. I really want them to get that. There's light on the other side of the pain. There's promise and purpose awaiting you there. And you have the power within yourself to ignite that light.